All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to Indy. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series hits the Brickyard. It's race number 8 of the season, and it's a 70-lapper, baby. Who's got what it takes to tame the crown jewel of motorsports? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's watch it right here on TurnLeftTV. All right, boys and girls, it's the Buschwackers Series here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Who's got the winning formula? Well, there's only one way to find out, baby. Let's get this party started. All right, thank you so much for coming in here and joining me on TurnLeftTV. A little racing action here tonight at the crown jewel of motorsports. And thanks for coming in here and joining me on TurnLeftTV. Appreciate you being here tonight. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeftTV. And we got a 70-lap race. And again, this is race number 8 of the season. You see just 2 races to go after tonight, Richmond and Michigan. The crown the champion there at Michigan. So it's been an interesting season this time around. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you are interested in an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. Also, you want to host your website or your online store, how about some VPS hosting or shared web hosting? Those are also available through EliteHostingUSA.com. Don't forget to head on over to HighOctaneRacing.net. Get a quick link to our Discord server where we do most of our business. And you get schedule updates, point standings, who's winning what. Quick link to TurnLeftTV as well. But please join us over there at HighOctaneRacing.net. Let's take a look at the track here at Indy. Who doesn't know, if you're in motorsports and you don't know anything about Indianapolis Motor Speedway, you ain't in motorsports, that's for sure. 2.5 miles, the most iconic track in all of motorsports, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Banking in the turns at 9.2 degrees. Straightaways, no banking, long straightaways, and you got those short chutes too. 4 turns. Big rectangular shaped oval. Is that the way you want to put that? Race is like an oval, but it's a big rectangle. And always a fun race here, and when we have the Brickyard format. Got about 5 minutes left in the practice session before these guys head to qualifications. Some more racing headed your way. The big boys will be out at Indy tomorrow. It's the Cup Series, the Saturday Night Thunder 70-lap race coming up tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Some chatters in here. Gibaldo, of course, kicking it off. Claudio Bardelli Jr., best of luck to him tonight. We'll take a look at the top 5 in points. Vieira, Bardelli, Uderchin, Carter, and Grover, the top 5 in points coming into tonight's race. And we'll take a look at the full point standings as they stand right now. Do we have a tie for the top position? That's right. Bardelli Jr. and Vieira are tied for first coming into tonight's race. So you got Claudio there shown in second. Vieira at the top. I think these guys are actually tied. Dennis Uderchin going to have to make a run for it, but he's going to need a little luck on his side, but he sits third in points. Gordon Carter fourth. Dana Grover is fifth. You see Franco Alvarez, Gilmar Peixoto, Gibaldo Spindle, and Julio Calagari, and Sean Jacobs rounding out to the top 10. Take a look at page number 2. Here we had a good turnout here this season. Benar Silva tops page number 2, sitting in the 11th position. Jelson Neto is 12th. Todd Robillard 13th. Jesus Iglesias 14th. Steve Pierce 15th. You see John Stanley, Dan Richter, Preston Hassel, Thiago Gomez, and Jair Oliveira rounding out the top 20. Look at page number 3 there, headed up by Chris Hughes. And then we got a 4th page. 31 drivers here participating this season. Take a look at my keys to the race here tonight at Indy. We'll take a look at those again just before we go live. Corner entry, man. It's all about getting through those corners, and that means navigating through the short chute as well. You got to use the draft here. When you come off turns 2 and 4, you are going to need the draft. No doubt about that. Manage that traffic, and then make sure your pit stops are on point here tonight. A couple minutes left here in the practice session. High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks will be back in action at Texas Motor Speedway. It's not 1,000 laps. I swear to you, it's not 1,000 laps. It's a 100-lap race. It's race number 3 of the season. Oh, my gosh, man. So that's coming up on Tuesday. And that's the High Octane Racing League Tough Truck Series at Texas. Not for 1,000 laps. They're going for 100 laps. That was a little, that's a little bold to be going for 1,000 laps, man. We'll have to, guys would be pulling into the pits, going and taking a nap for a little while, coming back out, do another 100 laps. Man, that would be brutal. That would be brutal. All right, these guys headed over to the qualification session. Like Giulio Caligari is going to be the first car out on the track to get his qualification attempt in that 3X car. Giulio Caligari, one of our great Brazilian drivers. And through the grass. Oh, you got to stay to the right a little bit as you come off pit lane. Rub a little dirt off those tires as he gets out onto the racing surface. And he is on across the start-finish line here to start his timed lap. 2 time laps. Pretty good entrance there into turn 1 through the short chute. A little wiggly. It's like the back end of that car a little wiggly. .14383 in that first sector for Giulio. And let's see what he gets here as he crosses the yard of bricks. 51.971. Just behind him was Alvarez and Carter. Both those guys a little faster there. Take a look at Bernard Silva. His qualification attempts. Right now, Franco Alvarez is the top time, 51.394. Gordon Carter, 4/10, almost 5/10 back in the second position. Now Bardelli Jr. jumping up to P2. And Richter now jumping into the top 5. Coming around turn 4. Down the front stretch. Let's see what Bernard Silva points through here in his first time lap. .51.718 for Bernard Silva. He is P7. Got John Stanley here in this Tim Hortons sponsored number 12 Ford Mustang.
A lot of soul.
52.094 P12 for the 12 car. Steve Pearson at 51. He's having a little bit of trouble there. 51.387 is the time to beat there, but to Steve Pierce, I'm not sure got a lap in. Maybe he did. Todd Robillard. Oh, man, a little skaty there coming off the turn. Let's see where he ends up. And he is going to be at 51.639. So P5 for Todd Robillard. Dennis Uderchin in the 47 car. Let's see where he ends up here in that 47. 52.165 P13. He's got another lap in him, I believe. A little bit, about 2/10 off there. Oh, looks like he's not going to get that final lap in here. Let's see if Givaldo Spindola, 68 car. Our great Brazilian drivers. Let's see where Givaldo lands here, where he's going to end up on the grid. .52.686, P16 for Givaldo. Oh, and he's smacking the wall there on lap number 2. All right, looks like everybody's done qualifying, so these guys are going to go over the drivers' meeting, and we will take a look at the results once qualification is officially over. Again, thanks for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Let's get this party started. All right, looks like these guys are done with quals. Let's take a look at the qualification results. Artur Vieta qualifies in P1 with a 51.387. Franco Alvarez starts in the second position, 51.394 for him. Claudio Bardelli Jr. will start third. Todd Robillard starts in the fourth position. Row number 3 will be Jesus Iglesias and Dan Richter. Ed Palumbo, Benor Silva start in row number 4. Gordon Carter, Julio Caligari, row number 5. Row number 6 will be John Stanley in the 12 and Dennis Schuderchin in the 47. Sean Jacobs in the 24 and Tony Furtado in the 9 will be in row number 7. Row 8 will be Steve Pierce and Givaldo Spindola, and I think we got some 2 more cars in that'll make up row number 9. Well, I'm going to have to get my pick for who I think is going to win this race tonight. Some say that the pick is Todd Robillard. That may be the kiss of death anytime I pick a winner. That'd be the kiss of death. But I think Todd Robillard's got the winning formula here tonight. We'll see. He's patient. Take a look at Todd here in the 90 as he pulls this car off the track to come down pit lane. to see Craig Marizon back out here joining us in the 60 car. He's been off for a little bit. Had some computer issues, I believe. And get those worked out. Back out on the track joining us tonight. Right now, 6th in the warm-up session. Looks like we have about 4 minutes left to go here in the warm-up session. Thank you so much for coming in or joining me on the YouTube channel tonight. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and smash that bell. You get updates when races are going live or when I've uploaded videos. Please support my channel by clicking on the links in the description of this race. Especially the one over in the on the SimLab web link. That would help me out. If you'd like to make a donation, also you can click on the link in the description of this race and make a donation straight through PayPal. Thanks to all those folks who have done so. We'll step on the gas. So you can share my videos with all your friends on any social media platform where you share YouTube videos. You're more than welcome to share mine here at TurnLeftTV. Don't forget the Saturday Night Thunder will be in action tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Cup Cars right here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's race number 7 of the season, and it's a 70-lap race from IMS coming up in the Saturday Night Thunder tomorrow night at 9 p.m. So we should be getting a command here in just about a minute or so. High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks will be in action for, it's actually a 100-lap race. I swear to you, it's not going to be a 1,000-lap race. That's my fault. Typo. Race number 3 of the season. Maybe we should say it's like race number 300 of the season. That's coming up on Tuesday, July the 23rd at 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, boys and girls, it's about that time. Time to get this party started. 70-lap race here tonight from Indy. And I think we're going to get the command to start the engines here very, very soon.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshal, singer, songwriter, megastar, and Ford truck man, Toby Keith.
It's time to get in, sit down, shut up, hold on, drivers, start your engines!
All right, boys and girls. Race number 8 of the season, 70 laps here tonight. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeftTV. And let's take a look at the starting order. Archer Vieta starts in P1. Franco Alvarez starts in his second position. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the 19 starts third. Gelson Neto starts in the fourth position. Starting in fifth will be Todd Robillard in the 90. Jesus Iglesias in the 22 starts sixth. Dan Richter will start in the seventh position. Ed Palumbo starts in P8. Starting in the ninth position will be Benar Silva in the 5 car. Gordon Carter starts 10th. Julio Caligari starts in the 11th position in 3X. John Stanley starts in P12. Starting in 13th will be Dennis Uterchin in the 47. Sean Jacobs starts 14th. Tony Furtado starts in the 15th position. Steve Pierce will start 16th. Starting in 17th will be Givaldo Spindola, and Craig Barazon starts in P18. Again, we'll take a look at the keys to the race here tonight, man. Corner entry, big time through here. And make sure you get through the short chute. That'll give you a good setup to get off of turns 2 and turn 4. Turn 2 and turn 4. Use the draft here tonight down that front stretch and the back stretch. Manage traffic and make sure your pit stops are on point here tonight. It's the Brickyard and fun track, but can be challenging. So Vieta going to lead the field here. Looks like these guys going to do 2 laps here under... Man, I rushed through to get through the... get through this. We got our 2 points leaders there up front, Vieta and Bardelli. Alvarez trying to make a run. He missed a few races there early on in the season, so he's trying to make a run for the point standings or points championship as well. For the 83 and the 4, they've had a great battle this season. They will start side by side. Another couple cagey veterans there with Bardelli Jr. and Gelson Neto starting in P3, P4. Todd Robillard, my pick to win this race, starts in 5th. Jesus Iglesias starts in the 6th position. Richter 7th, Palumbo 8th. Silva and Carter make up row 9th and 10th. All right, the pace car's off. Here we go. "70 laps here at the Brickyard."
Green flag, go, go, go.
Into turn 1. Vienna on the inside. Alvarez pushing the envelope there on that outside. He wants to get around. He tucks in, though. Gelson Neto working on the outside of Todd Robillard. Gelson now tucks in and gets single file. They're going down the backstretch. On board here with Jesus Iglesias running behind the 90 of Todd Robillard. Bardelli Jr. up there in the 3rd position, single file down the front stretch. Gelson Neto running back in that 6th position. Iglesias running in 5th. Take a look at Ed Palumbo and the Mello Yellow Sponsor Machine. He's running in 9th, just ahead of him. Dan Richter running in the 8th position in the 65 car. A little bit of a gap there. Oh, Bardelli Jr. tucking out here. He's looking to maybe try to get around Alvarez. We got a battle here for P2. And Bardelli Jr. pulls off the pass. Alvarez now back to the 3rd position. And they're starting to get a little racy here. Todd Robillard and Jesus Iglesias now battling down the front stretch, side by side. Iglesias have pulled out there, down onto the bottom line, and Gelson Neto trying to get around. On board here with Iglesias. Gelson Neto might have gotten into the wall. Neto might have made contact with the wall, and he is trying to get this thing out of. Oh, Iglesias coming around. Jesus Iglesias came around. And we got a yellow flag. Jesus Iglesias made some moves to get up front, but then the car looked like it came around on him. Let's take a look and see what happened here with Jesus. He gets down below that white line, and the back end of the car just comes around. He does a good job of holding on to this thing. Oh, does he make any contact? No, he doesn't make any contact with the inside wall, but wow, man, I'll tell you what. And Benner Silva had a ringside seat for that, that's for sure. Look at that. Oh, he touched the grass. Touched the grass, and wow, came around. That's what it was. Just got down below that white line and then maybe touched the grass there just a little bit. And then the back end of this car comes around. And he might have made a little contact with the inside wall. Nelson Neto looking out the front of his car. And guys doing a great job of checking up, but also staying out of Jesus Iglesias' way as he comes around. We go back here to live, and Archer Vieta is the leader. So Jesus will start at the end of the longest line. The rule in this series is if you cause a caution flag, you've got to start at the end of the longest line. Trying to reduce the cautions. We have a 2 caution rule. If you cause 2 cautions, then you retire from the race. Generally speaking, we don't have too much problem with that. I mean, everybody understands what the rules are. And, those guys race over from, NASCAR BR. Jesus races there. We got a lot of drivers from NASCAR BR. Those guys race on Saturdays and Sundays. It's the same thing in their league, too. They've got that same rule. It causes a caution flag. You start at the end of the longest line. Pretty intense racing here. I would imagine we're going to have some guys. It does look like we have some guys on pit lane. Or have come down pit lane, I should say. You got to wonder really what the what the plan is going to be for some of these guys. Are they going to risk it a little? We only do have 3 green flag laps in. Guys are saying that the car can get a little bit loose here with this setup. So that's something to think about there, especially driving pretty aggressively here early on. It does look like we have a couple of drivers coming down pit lane. The 1983, the 90, all on pit lane. So we do have a pretty fair amount of people going down pit lane. That's going to leave Archer Vieta kind of out there by himself a little bit, as we see a whole crew of drivers down on the pit lane. And now, Vieta may be asking himself, hey, man, should I have come down pit lane? We'll take a look at the side-by-side view here as there's about 5 or 6 cars that stayed out. Bardelli Jr. did come down pit lane as we're watching him on that right side screen. Now, we know Iglesias is going to have to come down pit lane. He's going to have to start at the end of the longest line. So we'll take a look at Iglesias in the 22. And with the 2 to go, he will drive down pit lane. But Archer Vieta is our leader. Right now, Jesus Iglesias in second, Udich in third, Stanley in fourth, Steve Pierce in the 5th position. Good to see Ritsky Novar joining us in the chat session. Wow, Ritsky Novar. Thought you eloped or something. Good to see you, Ritzky. Hopefully everything's going all right. Good to see Hammer in here. Laura wishing Todd Robillard good luck tonight. All right, so Arthur Vieta stays out. So about four drivers, I think, are out there that stayed out. So this is going to be interesting. This will be a little interesting. Yeah, it has been a while. We miss you too, man. Been a busy summer for me. Been taking a class, and I'm not having a lot of fun. That's the only busy I've been. So the top five here: Vieta, Uderchin, Alvarez, Richter, and Bardelli Jr. Bardelli Jr. we know came down pit lane. I believe Alvarez did as well. So maybe we only have two cars here that stayed out. Not sure what happened to. Now we've got a car out of the race. So it looks like he's rejoined. Maybe he got kicked. Gelson Neto in the 18th position now at 63. Looks like he might be able to scooch off pit lane and maybe stay on the lead lap. It's a good thing about this track. It looks like he's in the garage area. So Vieta has elected to take the inside line. Now Stanley, Uderchin, and Furtado, also Marizon on pit lane. So looks like second row, Dan Richter, Claudio Bardelli Jr., Vieta and Alvarez there, 1-2 in that front row. Robillard fifth, Silva is sixth. This is where things start getting a little dicey here. You know, you've got some guys that have stayed out. Vieta did not pit. I don't think he pitted, so he's on a little bit older tires here. I mean, you're only looking at 4 laps-ish on tires, but still. And the pace car's coming off this time by. These guys should learn their lesson. They don't want to cause any more caution flags. These things take forever here at Indy. Pace car's off.
Green flag, go, go, go.
Richter trying to scooch up there right behind the 4 car. Alvarez starting to push it on the outside line. Vieta, despite those older tires, has a lot of oomph in that machine. Bardelli Jr. working on the outside of Dan Richter. Well, Richter's working on the inside. Benner Silva gets through. He's now in the 4th position. Silva in that JB Rancing sponsor machine. Number 5 running in the 4th position. Richter falls back to P5. On board here with Franco Alvarez running in the 2nd position. He and Vieta have had a great battle this season. Also Bardelli Jr. These guys don't make too many mistakes. Oh, boy, I tell you what, Vieta was way close to the outside wall. Remember those older tires? And Alvarez closing in on the back. He's got to run here on Vieta. Oh, and he smacks the outside wall. Little contact with the outside wall. They are tight up front. Tony Furtado and Steve Pierce here battling. Pierce on the outside as Furtado in the 9 car. Going to pick up a spot. He's now up to the 15th position. Pierce falling back to P16.
Yellow.
Oh, Benner Silva might have come around. Benner Silva, I think, has come around. Jesus Iglesias off the pace here, but I think Silva's come around. And he is... Looks like he is dead on the track, man. Take a look and see what happened here. Take a look here, Silva. Oh, he gets loose right there. I don't know if he got into the... Oh, my gosh, a hard lick there on the inside wall for Benner Silva. That was a huge lick. And look at this. The 22 car is going to catch him. And we got hoods flying, tires flying. Oh, boy. Oh, wow. So Benner Silva came around. And right there, I don't know whether there was contact or what, but Silva hard into the wall and then comes back up onto the track. And I think Iglesias is going to end up hitting him. And it looks like Steve Pierce checked up and got loose as well, or came around. I don't know here whether... what happened, but it looked like both those guys, I don't know, maybe Silva was trying to avoid, man, hard into the wall there. And he's going to take a really, really hard lick. Oh, man. And Iglesias had nowhere to go. I mean, just absolutely nowhere to go. Aboard here with Jesus Iglesias in the 22. He sees that dust kicking up, and he's just hoping his car doesn't come back up on the track, and he has nowhere to go. Wow. That was a hard lick for Jesus. He's had, just absolutely gets annihilated there. And I don't know, what went on here out of Bardelli. So it looked like Silva just got loose. Bardelli got loose as well. Maybe there's some oil on the track or something. Sean Jacobs snuck through. Take a look out of the Sean Jacobs machine. And this all kicks off right there in front of him. Wow. We go back to live here as a couple cars out of the race. All right. Well, second caution flag. These guys, a little bit of a run there, but so Bardelli Jr. is the leader, and you saw him get a little bit loose there as that contact, or that also Benor Silva got loose. Poor Iglesias, man, he had nowhere to go. Gelson Neto, he got a little bit of a lucky break. He is back in the 5th position. Don't forget the High Octane Racing League Top Trucks will be at Texas on Tuesday. Race number 3 of the season. And Texas Motor Speedway, a very, very fun track, man. Tuesday nights, a lot of fun in the Top Truck Series. Oh, Benor joining us in the chat session. No problem, Benor. That happens, man. Like both you and Bardelli got a little bit loose getting into the corner, and Bardelli was able to hold on, but you came around, but those things happen. Ricky Novar said he moved work. Okay. New schedules? Did you not tell him that you were a sim racer, a famous sim racer, and you need your time off? Take a look at the schedule here. Next week, we'll be at Richmond Raceway for a 150-lap race. Race number 9 of the season. So tonight's race 8. There's 2 races to go after tonight. And we still have a tight points battle. Bardelli Jr. and Vieira are tied in points for the race lead. We're getting some guys coming down pit road. It looks like Udichin has elected to come down pit road. Udichin and Stanley both coming down pit road. And it looks like Neto's got a penalty here. It looked like maybe he had sped on pit lane. All right, looks like these guys are
Green flag, go,
gonna go back green. We got some longest line penalties it looked like there, so back to green. Martelli Jr., Franco Alvarez. I'm doing the admin part too, by the way. Hard to do the admin and broadcast at the same time, but jack of all trades apparently. The 19 and the 83 side by side here for the race lead down the backstretch. Robillard going down to the bottom side here. He's going to maybe follow Alvarez. And Robillard pushing his way here to P2. He still hasn't pulled it off yet. Martelli Jr. fighting back on the outside. Alvarez clears those guys. He's got P1. Franco Alvarez in the 83 car in P1. Drag racing down the front stretch. Martelli Jr. fights and holds on to that position. Gelson Neto and John Stanley side by side down the front stretch. Neto to the inside of the 12. Oh, that was tight right there. Gelson Neto in a 63 gets through. That's going to open the door, I think, for Vieta to get by. John Stanley and Archer Vieta now P11, P12. And Palumbo and Giulio Caligari here battling. Palumbo in the 54, Giulio Caligari in that 3X machine. And the Mela Yellow sponsor machine picks up P5. Caligari falling back to the 6th position. And Palumbo in this Mela Yellow sponsor Camaro, now behind Dan Richter. Tony Furtado here on the inside of John Stanley. Furtado in the 9 Exalta sponsor machine. And it looks like the 24 going to get around John Stanley as well. Take a look out of the back of the 24 car at the 60, who's gotten around John Stanley. Archer Vieta now closing back up on that pack. He led quite a few laps here at the beginning, and now gets around Gelson Neto. Take a look at Dan Richter running in P3. Richter's starting to move up here as we'll take a look at his pass. Take a look here. Dan Richter using the outside line. As Robillard's on the inside, Todd Robillard in the 90 on the inside as the 65 car. Oh, squeezes that car into the gap. Take a look at this. Gelson Neto, Givaldo Spindola, Archer Vieta. Givaldo running in the 11th spot. As he runs behind Gelson Neto. Neto in the top 10. Alvarez has opened up a little bit of a gap. 7 tenths, almost 8 tenths now on P2. Franco Alvarez in that Bass Pro Shops tracker, sponsored Ford. Oh, Chevy Camaro. Oh, I thought that's when he switched to Ford. I'm going to catch hell from the sponsors, from the manufacturers. Oh, Tony Furtado in the 9 car got into the outside wall. Tony Furtado made contact with the outside. And there's going to be some right side damage on that Exalta machine. He is having some trouble now as Sean Jacobs gets by. Wow. Let's take a look at that again. We'll take a look at John Stanley and Givaldo. John Stanley having a battle with Givaldo. Almost a crash right there. We got some guys who have come off the track here. I'm not sure what the heck happened here. Oh, a couple of cars got off the track. They got loose, I think, coming off the turn. Held on to it. Robillard and Palumbo both get loose right here in the same spot. Oh, Palumbo, hard contact to the inside. Man, that was a hard lick there for Palumbo. And Palumbo here, hard. Man, that car came around right there. Wow. Hard contact there for him. Sean Jacobs and Gelson Neto here battling. 23 laps in. Jacobs to the inside of the 63. Sean Jacobs picks up that spot, and Tony Furtado going to try to sneak through. Furtado trying to pick up the spot on Gelson Neto. And they are right there battling each other. Neto in his 63, and Tony Furtado in the 9. Side by side here. Little Mustang versus Camaro. The Camaro to the inside. Tony Furtado trying to get through. He's going to leave that door open, I think, maybe for Marizon. Marizon starting to close in on Gelson Neto. Alvarez likes these guys getting racy. He's able to open up a gap on Bardelli Jr. Bardelli Jr. is 1.5 seconds back. Marizon finally getting around Gelson Neto, but he had to work for it. Marizon in his first race back, that Magpul Dynamics sponsor Camaro, picking up a spot. Uderchin's had some trouble there. Looked like Uderchin might have gotten into the wall. Franco Alvarez, 1.8 second gap on Bardelli Jr. Richter is in third, Vieira fourth, Caligari is in fifth. Take a look at Steve Pierce and Givaldo Spindola here battling it out. Steve Pierce in at 51. Captain Morgan spots the machine. Givaldo gets up on a high line. Gives Pierce a lot of room to get by. Pierce up to the 14th position. Givaldo falling back to P15. Take a look at Gordon Carter. Haven't talked too much about Gordo tonight. Gordon Carter running in the 6th position. Just ahead of him is Giulio Caligari. And a quiet 9 here for Gordon, but he's got a good run here. He's in 6th, looking to crack the top 5. Caligari taking that inside, right, hugging that white line. Looks like maybe Bardelli Jr. has come down pit lane. So Bardelli Jr. making a pit stop. Franco Alvarez is the leader. Interesting strategy here maybe for Bardelli. Not sure if he's out of gas or what the situation is here with Bardelli Jr., but he is pitting. So early pit stop for the 19. Tires and fuel and back out on that access road. You got to rejoin the racing surface off of turn 2. And it's easy to get that car in the grass, that grassy area between the racing surface and the access road. And you see he's almost in the grass there. That could be really, really dangerous. And Bardelli Jr. rejoins the racing surface. He's still on the lead lap, and now he's in P15. Tony Furtado is on pit lane as well. Take a look at Furtado taking service here on lap 28. It is Artur Vieira into 4. Dan Richter. In that 65 car, good battle between these two. This is for the 2nd position, and Vieira's going to pick up that spot. And Tony Furtado got a speeding penalty coming down pit lane. So Vieira's picked up that spot now. In P2, Richter is in the 4th position, or excuse me, the 3rd position. Tony Furtado coming back out on track. Oh no, Tony Furtado misses the access road here. Oh, the leader comes by. The leader almost got taken out. Holy Toledo. Watch this. He got carried a little bit too much speed. He got a little bit loose right here on that access road, and he comes across the grass. That's ice right there. That is ice. And look at this, the race leader sneaking through. Wow. Out of the front of Franco Alvarez's machine. He's our race leader, and he had to be, oh my gosh, he had to be panicking. Holy Toledo. Gelson Neto and Dennis Uderchin battling it out. Gelson Neto to the inside of Dennis Uderchin. This is for the 10th position, and the 63 picks up P10. Uderchin falls back to the 11th position. Wow, man, I'll tell you what, that was crazy there. As you see, I think Alvarez has come down pit lane. Franco Alvarez, our race leader, giving up the race lead to come down pit lane. So Archer Vieira back to the race lead. And we got a whole host of drivers on pit lane. Julio Caligari's on pit lane. Alvarez still on pit lane. I think he might have... it's like he's now coming back out on track. So Vieira into 4. Dan Richter in the 65. These guys pitting together. Got to be really, really careful not to speed. We've seen some guys get some speeding penalties here, trying to get every split second they can. And the leaders are on pit lane. A lot of guys coming down pit lane. And maybe this is why Alvarez pitted early. He did not want to get caught up in this mess that's on pit lane right now. And I think Bardelli Jr. might be the first car off on the track who is not on pit lane. Richter finishing up his pit stop now, coming back out on track here in the 65 car. Man, he was carrying a lot of speed right there. Again, they're trying to get every split second they can. And easy to get that car wide and into the grass. As Bardelli Jr. is the leader. Tony Furtado has retired his machine. Hate to see that. So 4 cars out of the race as we approach halfway. Claudio Bardelli Jr. has a 3.5 second lead over Franco Alvarez. Remember, he pitted, I think, a lap or 2 earlier than these guys. Vieira is our 3rd place car, running in the 4 car. About 10 and a half-ish seconds, almost 11 seconds down. Dan Richter in 4th. Robillard is in 5th. Craig Berzon here in his first race back. He's having a good race. He's running in the 11th position, running right behind Gelson Neto, and a good battle there. John Stanley also in this mix, so a good 3-way battle here. John Stanley, Gelson Neto, and Craig Berzon. Neto kind of sandwiched in there between the 60 and the 12. Neto just ran the fastest lap of the race, 51.459. Rivaldo picking up a spot there. It looks like Steve Pierce has come down pit lane. Take some service. So Steve Pierce in that Camaro, number 51 car. Captain Morgan spots the machine. Going to get some topped off his glass. There was some Captain Morgan. We got a battle here, I think, for the lead. And it looks like Bardelli Jr. is coming back down pit lane to take his service. Well, he's a little bit off sequence. It's now Franco Alvarez back to the race lead. So Bardelli Jr. is on pit lane. And this is kind of you got to be really brave when you do stuff like this. When you pit a little bit earlier it's easy to start thinking about, man, I've got to make sure I stay on that lead lap. I can't do something to get myself a lap down. But also, there's some positives here. You know, he comes down pit lane with a clean pit lane. He doesn't have anybody there potentially pitting in front of him, or just a cluster of cars that you're pitting with. And a lot of things can happen there after you finish up your pit stop and you're coming back out on track. He's going to be in P12, so a little bit of a risky move. I mean, if he is still on the lead lap, I mean that's one thing. But you get yourself behind the 8 ball a little bit. But Bardelli Jr. is excellent at working that math, figuring out the strategy, adjusting that strategy on the fly as well. And I should say, so is this guy, Franco Alvarez. He's got a plan, but he's able to adjust that plan as the race dictates. And right now, Alvarez has about a 7-second lead of Artur Vieta. Take a look at Todd Robillard here running in the 4th position in the 90 car. Behind him is Giulio Caligari and Gordon Carter. A pretty tight battle here with these 3 guys. Things start to spread out a little bit. Back there you can see Giulio Caligari. Take a look at Dennis Judic. He's running in the 11th position in the 47 car. Kind of out there by himself right now. About 6 seconds behind P10, and that is John Stanley. And we had a change there in that battle, I believe. Marizon and Neto had gotten by. We'll take a look at this pass here as Gelson Neto goes to the inside of John Stanley. And picks up that position, and it looks like the 60 of Craig Marizon going to sneak through as well. Gordon Carter battling Gelson Neto. Giulio Caligari. And the 56 high place moving sponsor Camaro now picking up P5 as Giulio falling back to the 6th position. Let's see if these guys can, as they, switch positions. Let's see if they can run down the 90 of Todd Robillard. Take a look at Sean Jacobs here in the 24. He's running in the 7th position. He was talking earlier in the race about how loose this car was for him. Right now, he's got a good top 10 run, and I know he wants to get the victory here tonight, but this Vulcan sponsor machine running kind of out there by himself right now in the 7th position. Although Gelson Neto and Craig Marizon are working together here and maybe closing in. Take a look at that gap there between P7 and P8. Givaldo Spindler here. Givaldo hitting the outside wall. Givaldo smacked the outside wall. There'll be some damage to that 68 car. He is 1 lap down. He's in the lucky dog position. That car definitely not handling to his liking. He got up into the outside wall coming off turn 2. Steve Pierce here in the 51. Captain Morgan sponsor Camaro back out on track. He's in the 14th position. He wants that lucky dog position. Got a little bit of work to do, about 40 seconds behind at P13. So remember, Steve just came down pit lane in the Captain Morgan sponsor machine. Got topped off his glass of Captain Morgan. A few ice cubes on the side there. For good measure, not on the side, but you know what I mean. Dipped in there for him. Got 4 cars out of the race. Furtado, Palumbo, Iglesias, and Silva all out of the race. Silva had a big hit earlier in the race. Iglesias as well. Alvarez right now 7.5 second lead over Archer Vieta. That lead has not changed. Richter is in 3rd, Robillard 4th, Carter in 5th. Alvarez does a great job of painting cars for participants in this league as well. He's a really, really great painter, man. He's done some extraordinary work. As you see him come by. Like Steve Pierce back onto pit lane. John Stanley coming by. Now Steve Pierce looks like he's just retired his machine. He got caught speeding. Dennis Uderson coming back by. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in 12th. Interesting situation there with Bardelli Jr. And there is Franco Alvarez, our leader. He's opened up even more of a gap there on Vieta. 44 laps in. 2 caution flags under our belt, and don't mean to jinx it, but I hopefully will not have any more caution flags. Again, we'll take a look at Archer Vieta. He's running in the 2nd position, about 8 seconds down to Franco Alvarez. Bardelli Jr. is one that is off pit sequence for these guys. Pitted about a lap or 2 earlier, and we'll go back and take a look at him. He is running in the 12th position, and he is the last car on the lead lap. Gordon Carter indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane this time. And Julio Caligari starting to close back in. These guys are closing in on Givaldo. Now, Givaldo is 1 lap down in the lucky dog position. On board here with Gordon Carter. Down the backstretch. And it's going to be interesting here because it looks like he's going to make a pass there on Givaldo as he sets himself up for a pit. Through the short chute off turn 4. Again, on board here with Gordon Carter as he makes his pit stop. Oh boy, you got to get that thing woed down. So Gordon Carter on pit road. Caligari follows him down pit road. Looking out of the back of Gordon Carter's machine, he sees Julio Caligari. Four tires and fuel for the High Place Moving sponsor machine. And the 56 coming back out on track. Arthur Vieira had made a pit stop, but guess what? He got caught speeding. Arthur Vieira gets caught speeding, and he's going to have to do a drive-through. That is devastating for the 4-car. Oh, my heavens, man. Greg Marzon is the new race leader as we've got some more guys peeling off the track to come down pit lane. See Dan Richter on pit lane finishing up his pit stop in that Boom Boo Rum sponsored machine. 65 in the Mustang, sporting the Purdue University colors. As Marazon going to peel off the track to come down pit lane. So Craig Marazon making a pit stop. And that's going to give the race lead back to Franco Alvarez. This interesting situation here. Bardelli is now only about 3.94 seconds behind Alvarez. Remember, Bardelli pitted a little bit earlier, though. And I'm not sure that car is to his liking. Richter is in third. Robillard is fourth. And that's a good battle there with Richter and Robillard now. Richter comes back out on track. Robillard on a little bit older tires than Richter as he's finished up his pit stop. And he, I believe, will probably open up a little bit more of a gap here on the 90 car. Now, I might be wrong, but I think maybe this 65 and these fresher tires. Well, Robillard there closing in, so Robillard may be watching it on TurnLeftTV. Robillard starting to close in here on Dan Richter. And we got catching that draft. Staying away from the wall. Richter a high exit out of turn one. So that battle there heating up between the two of those guys. 0.2 of a second here as Robillard looking really, really strong. Claudio Bardelli Jr. is on pit lane. Remember, a different pit sequence for him. You got to be really, really brave, I think, to get off pit sequence with these guys. I can never make it work, but these guys are a lot better at sim racing than I ever thought about being. And Bardelli Jr. is on pit lane. Alvarez starting to close in on Dennis Uderchin to put him a lap down. Uderchin just ahead of Franco Alvarez. Alvarez, we see. Oh, to the outside. It's a little dangerous there. To the outside of the 47. So Alvarez putting Dennis Uderchin a lap down. You see Claudio Bardelli Jr. coming back out on track. And he's going to come back out in the 11th position, and he is going to go lap down here really, really soon if he's not careful. Take a look at Alvarez. He goes to the bottom here and gets by Bardelli Jr. Bardelli Jr. did not want to go a lap down, but at least he knows he's in the lucky dog position. Bardelli Jr. on a little bit better tires here as he's just come back off pit lane, and he gets his lap back, and Uderchin says, hey, thanks a lot, baby. Dennis Uderchin liking what he sees there as he now reclaims the lucky dog spot. Todd Robillard and Dan Richter in his 65. And Robillard going to pick up that spot as Dan Richter falling back to the third position. Todd Robillard had been working on the 65 car for a few laps. And now he picks up P2. Richter is in the third spot. Gordon Carter shown in P4. And we got a good race here back in the pack. And this is Sean Jacobs and Gelson Neto. Jacobs in the 24 running in the 5th position. Gelson Neto running in P6. Both very, very fast drivers. A lot of experience right there between the two of those guys. Classic Chevy versus Ford battle as well. The 24 in 5th, the 63 of Gelson Neto running in the 6th position. Giulio Caligari running in P7. He wants these guys to get side by side, get a little bit racy as he can close in. 1.4 seconds back to the 6th place car. And he is running in the 8th position. Well, Franco Alvarez is our leader. I gotta wonder how this pit situation is going to work out. I mean, we saw that Bardelli Jr. has been off sequence since very early in the race. And it may be a chess match between the two of them because he's good at working the calculator. Alvarez good at working the calculator. Take a look at John Stanley. He's running in the 9th position. As Arthur Vieira.
Yellow.
Oh, we got a yellow flag. We have a yellow flag. And it looks like the 90 come around and come apart. He is on fire. The 90 car on fire right now. He got to get out of that thing. He is on fire. That car is DOA, and Todd Robillard is a french fry. He's going to try to skate to pit lane. Somebody better get some fire extinguisher out there. People from the crowd are throwing beer out on that thing, and that thing is absolutely torn to pieces. Wow. Todd Robillard here, he picked up 2nd position, and then he catches that metal gate. Oh my heavens, man! That car just exploded. Dan Richter. Look out of the front of his car. Right there. Oh, pieces flying over his car. Holy Toledo. Todd Robillard coming off the turn, and he's going to get into this gate right here. Hits the wall, gets into the gate. And this thing spins through the grass and back into the wall, and he is going to catch on fire here. Fire, fire, fire. Wow. And Dennis Udichin gets the lucky dog, but Todd Robillard on fire. And that was a hard lick there for him. And he is out of the race. He got up to P2. Dennis Udichin. Dennis Udichin gets a lucky dog. Into 47, so back on the lead lap. And a tough break for Todd Robillard here late in this race. I don't know, Gordon Carter, he was coming around here on this. So let's take a look at Gordon Carter. He's going to get to see a little bit of flames action, I think. And he goes by Robillard on fire. Wowza. So now we're going to have pit stops here under yellow. I would venture to say that Franco Alvarez did not want to see that yellow flag. He did not want to see it. He had a pretty substantial lead. Now, I don't know how pit stops were going to work out, but, nonetheless, he had a pretty substantial lead. Don't forget, tomorrow night we'll be right back here in the Saturday Night Thunder, the Cup Series. 70 laps from Indy. It's race number 7 of that season. And it starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when quals start. Race usually gets started about 15 after. And we got some guys on pit lane. So Alvarez leads the field on the pit lane. John Stanley shown as the new race leader. He's going to get some bonus points. But we're going to watch that battle off pit lane. Arthur Vieira, they're trying to convince his pit crew to release him. And the 56 is going to beat him out, I think. Good battle there off pit lane. Take a look at this battle here as Alvarez gets off pit lane. Looks like Dan Richter gets off second off pit lane. Richter's had a pretty fast car here tonight. He's just been kind of mired back a little bit. He had a run earlier on Franco, and then a caution flag came out. And John Stanley is our leader. Now, Givaldo is one lap down, and he is, I would bet you, going to pit this time by. As you see, Uderchin also making a pit stop. And that's going to give the lead here to Franco Alvarez. Dan Richter is going to start in P2. Bardelli Jr., I think this might be the pit stop that he wanted, or the situation, the caution flag, I should say, that he wanted. So he's now back up with the race leader. Very interesting. Gordon Carter will start 4th. Vieira starts in the 5th position. Sean Jacobs will start in P6. as Alvarez elected to take the inside line, I believe. We are 59 laps in. This is our third caution flag of the night. As we're going to get ready to go back green. Don't forget to help me out by clicking on the SimLab web link in the description of this race. That'll help me out here. I have a SimLab race rig. I have the GT1 Evo. And love it, man. I do my sim racing, obviously, through there. I got a DD1 wheelbase, and very, very solid, man. All pre-drilled for all that stuff. The plates are, so it's very nice, easy to put together. Well, please give those guys a look if you're interested in purchasing a rig or any other thing through SimLab. They got a lot of sim racing trinkets, so to speak. Help me out. I'm an affiliate through them. We might have one more lap. Yes, it does look like we're going to have another lap. Again, thanks for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already done so, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to smash the bell. You'll get updates of when races are going live. Thanks to all those folks who come out each and every week, watch the races. If you're new, thanks for coming in. And again, please come back and check out the races that I have going on here at TurnLeftTV. Appreciate your support. And you can share my videos with all your friends on any social media platform where you can share YouTube videos. You're more than welcome to share mine here at TurnLeftTV. So we are going to go green this time by. Bunching these cars back up. A little intensity. Shifting it up there a little bit. Bumping up the intensity. Franco Alvarez starts on the inside. He's got Bardelli Jr. right behind him. You know Bardelli Jr. wants to win. He and Vieira are tied for the points lead coming into tonight. Vieira running in the 5th position. Gelson Neto looks like he's going to start back in the 7th position in that 63 car. Just behind him is John Stanley. Those guys back there definitely wanted that caution flag. Gets them a chance to get bunched up here and maybe pick up a few spots. Pace car is going to come off this time by. I think they got the fire cleaned up. Extinguished. And we're about ready to get some fire going here again. Richter and Alvarez. Side by side. Here we go. Back to green. Bardelli Jr. gets a good run on the inside. He's underneath Dan Richter. That's for the 2nd position. Coming off. Turn 1 through the short chute. Alvarez holding the inside line. Bardelli Jr. gets by. Richter stuck up the outside line, and Vieira's going to try to get by. Vieira gets by. Richter lost a couple spots there on that restart. Dan Richter now back to P4. Home track for Dan Richter. You see him getting out of the throttle there just a little bit. Keep that car from coming around, and they are nose to tail there. 1, 2, 3. Alvarez trying to break the draft to the inside. Bardelli Jr. following in the 19 car. Artur Vieira is in 3rd. Jordan Carter running in the 5th position in the F56 car. Again, nose to tail here on lap 62. See him playing with that wheel there. Keeping that car pointed in the right direction. Does not want to lose the back end of this car. But he has got to worry about Gelson Neto behind him, is 63. Gelson Neto very, very fast here tonight. This guy is great at getting everything he can out of the car. He is way on the outside. See if he can't get a run coming off, but Sean Jacobs going to tuck in underneath. Sean Jacobs now pushing the issue and gets by Gelson Neto. John Stanley in the 12 car going to try to follow him through. Side by side here, down the backstretch. Gelson Neto going to give up another spot. Looks like maybe 2 as Craig Marizon. Oh, no, there's a wreck.
Yellow.
There was a wreck, and it looked like Marizon cut over in front of Gelson, and Marizon in pieces. We might have another fire. That car is absolutely smoked. Take a look here as the 63 and the 60. Take a look here as look like Marizon. Oh man, came up the track and flies through the air. Wow. Watch that, man. Marizon flew through the air. As he drifts up the track, it gets into the 63 and then up into the air. Look at that. Wow. Giulio Caligari had a look at that one. Take a look at this. Giulio, as you're going to see coming into the turn, Marizon's going to slide up the track right there. And then, oh, wow. Again, we'll take a look here again. It looked like Marizon had aspirations to try to get around John Stanley, and the car just drifted up on him right there, and he gets into, oh man, and that thing right over the top of the camera. Wow. And a lot of damage there. Wow, man, that was a wild crash. And I think he's going to be on pit lane for quite a while. That car is absolutely destroyed. And wow, man, I tell you what, that was we've had some pretty wild wrecks here tonight. Alvarez and Bardelli Jr. were having a great battle. Vieira had gotten around Richter. Richter's in 4th. Carter now 5th. But Vieira is up to the 3rd position. So quite a few guys here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys out of the race. You know Marizon's got a ton of damage there. Little parts and pieces there still on the track. Cleanup crew, they gave up on that one. Man, that was a hard hit. way up into the catch fence as well. Don't see that too often. We've had a car on fire. We've had a car up in the catch fence, flipping over. That was our 4th caution flag, and it looks like Alvarez is going to take the inside here, maybe faking like he's going to go down pit lane. Yeah, if you're in the back, I mean, you don't have a lot of cars here. If you're in the back, you might as well come down pit lane. And it looked like Uterchin had gotten the lucky dog on that that crash, on that caution flag. Marizon going to be on pit lane for a while, I believe. And that car is absolutely toast. Well, don't forget the Tough Trucks will be back in action at Texas Motor Speedway on Tuesday, July the 23rd. It will be a 100-lap race, not 1,000. It's 100. I got to fix that. Racing starts at 9 p.m. Race number 3 of the season. It's Texas in the Tough Trucks. But now you just got to play defense here for a few laps. You don't want Bargelli Jr. to be able to get around you on the outside or get underneath you. I think Alvarez has the faster car. But then again, you know, both those guys cagey veterans. And don't forget about Artur Vieira as well. You know, the points championship right now is tied between the guy who's in second and the guy who's in third. Bargelli Jr. in P2 right now. Vieira is in third, and those guys are tied for the points championship here in race number 8, going into race number 8. Well, it does look like that Franco Alvarez has elected to take maybe the inside line here. We're going to get the one to go. The lights are out on the pace car, I believe, so looks like we're going to go green this time by. Marizon's still on pit lane. Actually, that car's on fire. Craig Marizon's car is on fire here. So he's got to get out of that car. Marizon has got to get out of that car, or we're not going to see Craig Marizon for a while. He's going to be in the burn unit. Looks like he's got that car fire extinguished. The 2 cars on fire tonight. That's hot. We knew he'd be on pit lane for a while, but I don't know if they can repair that machine. That thing is beat to death. We've been on pit lane for about 3.5 minutes now, so lots of damage to get repaired for that machine. Maybe a little cat-mouse playing here. I don't know what Alvarez is doing, but a little cat-mouse game being played here between the two of these guys. So another lap, it looks like. Long caution flag. So Alvarez now has elected to take the inside here. I guess I got to pay attention. It'd be nice if you'd tell me it was one to go. That puts Bardelli Jr. up on the outside line. If he can get a good jump, Alvarez is really going to have to do some finagling to keep his car from drifting up to the outside. So, Bardelli Jr. might be in the right spot here for this restart. We'll see. Alvarez is really good on restarts. Richter running in the 4th position. He's up on the outside line. And Artur Vieira is in P3. Again, thanks for watching the live stream. I appreciate everybody being in here tonight and watching. It looks like we've had 108 people come in and watch. That's awesome. Love that. Some great viewership here tonight. So thanks so much. Wow. Appreciate you watching TurnLeftTV. This is the Buschwacker series, the Xfinity series, Friday night. A great series. These guys really love these cars. And we've got a battle between 2 KG veterans here starting P1, P2. Not to mention a couple KG veterans back there, P2, P3. P3, P4. The pace car's off. Hold on, boys and girls. They're going to turn up the heat.
Green flag, green flag.
There,
Go,
we're
go,
back
go.
to green. Start lap 69. Can we make it all the way around? 2 laps. Alvarez got the jump. Vieira got around Bardelli Jr. Artur Vieira has gotten around Bardelli Jr. Oh, Vieira got a little bit loose coming off the turn. Alvarez goes down to the inside. That's going to leave the door open there for Bardelli Jr. to battle Vieira on the inside. And this is exactly what Alvarez wants to see. He wants to see those guys battling for position. I know both those guys think they can get up there and challenge him, but as long as they race each other, that's not going to happen. Vieira closes back in. Alvarez to the inside. There's Bardelli Jr. fighting back on the outside line. Vieira and Bardelli. Vieira sideways. Oh, no! Vieira comes around. Vieira came around. And Franco Alvarez down the backstretch. In command. Those guys got caught up in that. It looked like Vieira had gotten loose. And Franco Alvarez through the short chute around turn 4. Franco Alvarez down the stretch. And they got a battle, great battle there for second as Richter gets by. And Franco Alvarez takes the win. Congratulations to Franco Alvarez. Another win for the 83. And a little kiss there from the Boom Boo Rum sponsor machine. Great job to Franco Alvarez on getting the win. I just gotta love the screenshot thing, man. God. So great job to Franco Alvarez on getting the win. And another win to the Bass Tracker, Bass Pro Shops, Tracker, Boats, and ATV sponsored Chevy Camaro. It's the big win. Congratulations to him. Alvarez celebrating. Big win here at Indy. Wow. That's 2 in a row for Franco Alvarez. On a roll. And he had to work for that one, boys. He had to work for that one. A great job to Franco. And, well, we had an interesting race there tonight, that's for sure. Let's take a look at the final results. Franco Alvarez gets the win. Dan Richter finishes in P2, a late race pass there around Claudio Bardelli Jr., who finished third. Sean Jacobs finishes in the 4th position. John Stanley finishes in P5. Gelson Neto finishes in the 6th position. Julio Caligari finishes in 7th. Gordon Carter finishes in the 8th position. Arthur Vieira finishes in 9th. And Dennis Uderchin in that top 10 finishes in the 10th position. Finishing in 11th is Givaldo Spindola in the 68 car. Craig Marizon finishes in 12th. Todd Robillard 13th. Steve Pierce 14th. Tony Furtado finishes in the 15th position. Ed Palumbo 16th. Jesus Iglesias finishes in 17th. And 18th is Benar Silva. A lot of those guys got caught up in wrecks. There's DNF guys got caught up in some big wrecks here tonight. So another win there for Franco Alvarez, and we'll see if we can't get a word with him. What an interesting race. All right, we'll get Franco Alvarez up here. All right, we're joined in the booth with Franco Alvarez and a big win here at Indy. Wow, what an action-packed race it was tonight.
You're not wrong, Mr. Johnson. It was a very fun race. Very rare to say that in Indianapolis, but yeah, that was a really fun race.
Well, it seemed like early on, you and Bardelli Jr. and, Vieira as well were all up there swapping positions and so forth. And, we had some untimely caution flags that sort of got some guys shifted back in the pack a little bit. But once it finished out, it looked like you guys were back to racing, 1, 2, 3 there toward the end. What's it like racing around those two guys?
It's extremely hard. Like, I am not kidding. It's extremely hard. As you saw at the end of the race, I had a deja vu from Pocono last week when I had to swerve on the straights to break the draft because these two are drafting together and it's so hard to keep them behind. The number 4 car had a really strong pace today. In my opinion, he was the fastest guy today. I don't know if he had a penalty or what, but he suddenly disappeared and he reappeared at the end with the caution. So it's just so difficult to keep them behind and to pass them is even more difficult.
Man, when the cautions flew, they were big ones too. You had some pit strategy going on, a little bit different than what Bardelli Jr., for example, was playing. What was going through your head there as Bardelli Jr. seemed to be a little bit off sequence with you guys?
Well, that penultimate caution, I think, with the 90, that killed my strategies because I had an 18-second lead in second place. Bardelli needed an extra pit stop than me. So he wasn't a concern for me, he was out of the race at point. So the caution brought everybody, it bunched up everybody again, so yeah, that caution. I lost an 18-second lead, which hurt a lot, but hey, it is what it is.
Well, Indy is a fun track. It's a hard track. It's hard to pass, I think. For me, it seems like you've really got to hit all your marks to be able to get around somebody unless they sort of gift it to you by making a mistake. What's the goal here when you get into Indy and that strategy? What's that general strategy for you?
Strategy-wise, is just do as many laps as possible in one tank of fuel. So you need to save less, or you don't need to save at the end. That's the main goal. And to gain positions, as you said, it's so hard to pass here. Like, you need to nail the corner to have a run and have a try to pass somebody. It's not guaranteed to pass somebody. It's very difficult. It's very fuel dependent, not tire dependent, very fuel dependent, like Pocono or Michigan, for example. So yeah, tires did matter today, but not that much. the main thing today was fuel. So.
Well, next week we switch gears, switch strategies. We got Richmond Raceway coming up, a short track. Man, it seems like guys either hate it or love this track. What's your feeling about Richmond coming up next week?
I personally think Richmond is extremely boring, but at the same time, it's very boring to race, but it's fun to drive, So it's gonna be a mix of emotions next week. Usually, all races at Richmond are pretty good. We had a lot of people with good pace, so I expect a fun race next week.
Well, congratulations. Another great race for you, 2 in a row, and maybe making a run for a championship. It's going to be hard to beat those two guys up front, but congratulations and best of luck next week to you.
Well, about the championship, I don't have a shot. Being realistically, there is 2 races to go, and I have 45 points behind the leader, so I don't think I'm going for the championship, just going for wins. It's fantastic that I finally figured out how to keep a good pace at Indianapolis without burning my tires. It took me 2 years to learn it, so still learning a lot. It was a pleasure to put this number 83 Bass Pro Shops Camaro on victory lane again. And I know there is a new partnership with my team, with Mobile One, so I am really anxious to see that car on the track soon.
Now, hopefully we'll get it in the car set here in the next couple of weeks. But again, hey, thanks so much for all you do here at HORL, and good to see you back in victory lane. You're always an interesting interview as well, and best of luck next week at Richmond.
Thanks, Mr. Johnson.
So that's Franco Alvarez joining us up here in the booth, and what a race it was for him, man. A little bit of luck on his side, too, when he needed it, but, when you got the likes of Bardelli Jr. and Arthur Vieira and, Dan Richter up front as well, Sean Jacobs finished in 4th tonight, man, so a great run there for him, and you really got to, be thinking about how that racecraft is coming together for you when you beat guys like that. And again, thanks for coming in and watching TurnLeftTV tonight. I really appreciate everybody being here. And as I said, next week we'll be at Richmond for race number 9 of the season. Again, thanks for coming out and watching the YouTube channel tonight. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, please. And then smash the bell. You'll get updates of when races are going live. And, of course, next week on Friday, we'll be right here back again at Richmond. Tonight's race has been brought to you by EliteHostUSA.com. If you are interested in an rFactor 2 server for your league, there are 3 self-managed server packages to choose from. Look at the number of people we had tonight. We had great connections. No lag, nothing like that. So we got people racing from all around the world here at on our servers here in the United States. Don't forget to join us over at highoctaneracing.net. That's a quick link to our Discord server. That's where we do most of our business. You get updates of schedules, point standings, quick links to the TurnLeftTV broadcast as well. Don't forget to join us over there at highoctaneracing.net. Well, tomorrow night we'll be right back here at Indy in the Saturday Night Thunder, a 70-lap race. It'll be race number 7 of the season, and it starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, the Tough Trucks will be back in action on Tuesday at Texas. Race number 3 of the season. And that'll be a fun one, man. Texas is a lot of fun in these trucks. Congratulations to Franco Alvarez on getting the race victory. That's going to do it for me tonight. Thanks for everybody coming out. Thanks to everybody for coming out and watching the race tonight. And we'll see you next week. I am out of here.